British Midland Ulster Rally starts in the heart of Belfast. Right outside the magnificently restored Victorian Opera House, state-of-the-art motoring technology stands ready in line. 28 stages lie ahead, around 230 high-speed miles, taking in each one of Northern Ireland's 6 counties. And for some, the last chance of a close inspection.
Russell Brooks starting at number 1, leading the British Championship, but can you finish at number 1?
Well, I think the weather is going the right way for us. We definitely need it to be dry, particularly if it's wet. We won't be able to stay with the four-wheel drive cars, but at the moment it looks like dry weather, so we're going to have a really good go.
Well, David Llewellyn won the Circuit of Ireland in a car very much like this one, but it's not the same car. David, what happened?
Well, the Circuit of Ireland car, I'm afraid I crashed quite heavily on the Welsh Rally, and it wasn't repairable, so I did have another car for the Scottish, a new one, but yet this is another new one again. It's a lightweight car, built specially for tarmac. It's got some of the latest tweaks. It's got the bigger 16-inch wheels, the bigger brakes, and it's about 100 kgs lighter than the other car, so we're hoping that we can do the business with it.
Well, on the Ulster Rally, our in-car camera is going to be carried by Penty Auricola. Penty, how do you feel about this extra passenger in the car?
Well, it's... I can't lie if I make a mistake, because there will be evidence, so it's not so good. But if things go right, it will of course be nice to have it, and maybe I can have a video about it and show my family and so on what I'm actually doing, what my office looks like.
But Jimmy McRae, a regular visitor to Northern Ireland, but we're seeing you in the Metro for I think only the second time, and on the circuit you had a bit of disappointing luck. How's it going to go this time?
Well, hopefully we've learnt a bit from the circuit. The circuit was the first event we had done with the car on tarmac. We've since then been and did an event in Europe in the Canaries, and the car, we reckon we've got the car a bit better and it's a bit more reliable, so we're hoping for a good result here.
By a good result, do you mean number 1?
Well, that is a good result, isn't it?
Midday Friday, and Brooks leads off. The cavalcade has 30 hours to roll. Jimmy McRae is next, his little Metro ideally suited to the terrain. Michael Sundstrom's Peugeot about to set off, another four-wheel drive challenger. The 3 most likely then in an event for the fast, the fearless and the brave.
Well, Austin McHale, a lot of people are very surprised to see you taking part in the Ulster Rally just 20 days after you had a kidney removed. Are you feeling fit enough?
I'm feeling fine. We have no problems. I feel very well. And we owe a big gratitude, I think, to the doctor that looked after us in Jervis Street Hospital, Mr. Walsh and his staff, for getting us really fit for this event.
For Kenny McKinstry in the big Sierra, by your standards, it's been a disappointing season so far, hasn't it? Can you change that on the Ulster?
It's very, very hard to know. Basically, what we'll be doing this year is seeing how well, on this Ulster, seeing how well the car actually runs against the Group A cars. It's now homologated into Group B, and September, October time it should be into Group A. So we're hoping for a top 10 finish and to see how we actually work out against the Group A cars, you know.
Stage 1, and Russell Brooks is first on the road. With the Manta running in lightweight form, his main problem is going to be staying with the four-wheel drive supercars, like this one, Jimmy McRae's Metro. Plenty to enjoy as Sundstrom's 205 comes roaring through. The Ford RS 200 is Mark Lovell at the wheel, seeking his first success in Ireland. David Llewellyn won the circuit at Easter, but he's battling to find winning form again. Austin McHale said he was going to take it easy. I wouldn't like to see him going flat out. In the Astra, Ronan McNamee is calling the notes for Penty Auricola.
Junction 6. And crest 1 minus into left tightens band. Into crest right 4. Into left 4. Long crest.
After being piloted by drivers from nearer home, we now have a chance of sampling the Finnish style and a unique system of pace notes.
27.
So what Penty does is, instead of using words to describe corners, he uses numbers. So where most people would say very fast right or fast right, we would call it right 1 or right 6 or whatever. Basically what we do is we, a very, very straight piece of road with maybe a kink right, we call that right 1, whereas a 90-degree turn, we call it right 6. So in between those, the different numbers, right, anywhere between 2 and 6. And something like a hairpin, you'll hear us in the notes call it right 8, which is, so basically what happens is as we go up the numbers, the more extreme the bend. Well, there's a problem with language, you know, Penty being Finnish and me being Northern Irish. So I've got to say it slowly and very distinctly. And also there are less words to say, so we've got right 1, and you've just got to say it slowly and very distinctly.
It seems to be working. Penty and Ronan are leading the British Group A table, and a class win here will make them champions. The first and last now we'll see of Simon Davis. Engine trouble in the Nissan make him the first of the major retirements. Mike Stewart now, another to be forced out. This is Kenny McKinstry. And Andrew Wood, one of the top men in Group A. The heat is on from here at Nuts Corner, west to Fermanagh and Tyrone, and north to within sight of the Atlantic near Ballycastle. Then back to Belfast. 91 crews started, not all can make it. John Lyons in the Honda Civic. He's coaxed some terrific performances out of this little car. The Dubliner, Frank Fennell, charging on. Robin Lyons in his Peugeot 205. Some beautiful landscape awaits them high in the green hills of Antrim. And this is Slieve Namadi from the inside. We're now on stage 3.
Right 1. 50. Left side. Crest 1. Crest. Right 1. 200. Crest 1. Into crest. Right 1. 100.
That jump that we've just come across, when we practiced the Stora Lodge stage at 30 miles an hour 3 days ago, we didn't even notice. But when you do 120 miles an hour in a rally car, a small undulation on the road suddenly becomes a major jump. But a driver of Penty's calibre is quite capable of coping with that.
So, 3 down, 25 to go for Agricola. And believe it or not, he even has time to answer the phone. Well, he did say it was his office.
The beautiful Glenara Forest Park in County Antrim, and a break in the action at the day's first service halt. Michael Sundstrom has given his crew a worrying time by grinding to a halt between stages. But he's also been setting some very fast times indeed.
The stages are so fast that we all go under the target time, so I think there will be maybe 3-4 stages more before the rally starts.
You had a problem after stage 1. We saw you stop for a while between stages. What happened?
Yes, we are doing ignition problem, but it's fixed now. It's no problem anymore.
But there is a problem for Penty Agricola's Astra.
We have a problem with changing gear from second to third in the middle of a corner or in very hurry, and if a car is a bit unstable, I don't seem to get it into the right position, and then the only gear which I can find is a fifth one. And after that, driving while with a fifth, we can again find overgear. So we had a similar problem in the Scottish rally, so we know that it is on top of a gearbox which needs to be changed, which they are now doing, and it takes about takes 15 minutes to do it, and maximum, and we have 20 minutes to do it, so it should be all right. And sun is shining.
There are no worries here for Jimmy McRae. The Scotsman's Metro needs only routine servicing before going back to the fray. After 3 stages, it's a 3-way tie for the lead between McRae, Sundstrom and Llewellyn. That's because of an unpopular new safety rule aimed at limiting the speed of the supercars. A bogey time is imposed on each stage, and it's no advantage to go quicker than that. But rally drivers don't have much time to operate a stopwatch. They go flat out from the start, and several, like the 3 leaders, are quite capable of smashing the bogey time. So the new regulation doesn't make the cars any slower, but it does leave the rally without an overall leader. The Ford challenge is in the hands of English driver Mark Lovell, and he's pressing the leaders hard. Austin McHale in the Black Manta shows no ill effects from his kidney operation. Harry Toivonen in another Metro makes a cautious start to the day. He's desperately keen to finish a rally for the first time in over a year. while Kenny McKinstry finds the Big Sierra's back end a bit of a handful. And the Group A Astra of David Metcalf also scrambles to find its way. Raymond and Trevor Knox from Waringstown have even more problems in their Sunbeam Lotus. But the youngest driver in the rally, 18-year-old Stephen Finlay from Ballygawley, takes a steadier course. In Special Stage 5, Russell Brooks is still first on the road, but lies 5th overall. There's still no clear leader, but McRae and the Metro are in determined mood. What about this for turbo technology in the Ford? Sundstrom's Peugeot is leaving those early ignition problems behind and is still sharing the three-way tie on Stage 6. The warm, dry weather gives Russell Brooks at least a chance of keeping in touch with the four-wheel drive cars of the leaders. But the supercars like McRae's Metro 6R4 will take some catching. Austin McHale doesn't need the signposts to find his way round here. And there's no time to admire the scenery for Auricola and McNamee, as their Astra leads Group A. John Hogland is one of two Norwegian drivers in the event, and his Skoda continues to surprise people. But Kenny McKinstry's Sierra is still having handling problems, and they're keeping him just outside the top 10. Back to Glenariff for the second time, and once again the piece is shattered by the sound of high-powered engines. Joint leader David Llewellyn comes in to discuss a change of suspension.
Around to the back.
See what Harry's going to say, but
right.
Well, he said his was a lot better on the first stage.
Well, he was definitely a lot quicker anyway.
Was he?
Yeah. 10 seconds a stage, really, on those two. I mean, I know it's the second time through, but...
Why aren't you doing it now, then? Why are you leaving it till later?
Well, we got smooth stages now.
Oh, that's all right. Okay.
Yeah? Yeah. Tomorrow morning, with the start, we got three bumpy ones tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock, so that should
You won't want to change it back again, will you?
I don't know.
Back on the road again, and Russell Brooks knows that a good result here is vital to his British Championship hopes. He's pushing the Manta to its limits. At last, there's a breakthrough, and the rally has its first overall leader. On the 8th stage of the day, Jimmy McRae opens a 2-second gap at the top and is really starting to fly. is second. And 3 seconds back, it's Sundström and the Peugeot. Brooks is equal fourth. But he's under increasing pressure from the RS200 of Mark Lovell. Austin McHale has brake problems, but it doesn't show here. Harry Toivonen continues his smooth run. And Englishman Cyril Bolton follows him in another Metro. Mike Stewart completes the 5-car Metro challenge. And Louise Aitken-Walker holds on to a place in the top 10 in the big Nissan.
Well, here's our leader after 9 stages, just 2 seconds in front, Jimmy McRae. And 2 seconds, I dare say, Jimmy, because the system of bogey time with a average speed, where you can't really stretch your lead at this stage because everybody, even if you're fast, has got to be given the same time.
That's correct. I mean, it's of the 9 stages we've done, only 2 have counted towards the results in the rally, which is a shame. It's a good rally ruined by the FISA regulations.
You don't like it?
I don't like it, no. I think it doesn't make the rally any safer, because you've still got to go reasonably quick to make sure that you beat the bogey time, or you might have a problem in the last few meters of the stage. So, I mean, everybody's going as quick.
Well, Michael Sundström with the banana and the orange juice. I don't want to stop you eating, but we believe you're second.
I think so. No, I'm not sure, but I think so, yes. Jimmy is leading by 5 seconds, I think.
He reckons it's only 2.
Oh, maybe it's only 2.
Here's David Llewellyn, famous man from the Circuit of Ireland. How's the Ulster Rally going for you?
Well, not so bad, except we're cleaning a lot of the stages. By cleaning, I mean we're beating the bogey time. So far, there's only been 2 stages out of the 9 that's counted. So it's a little bit. I mean, it's very disheartening, really, because you go charging through a stage and you get the end and you've beaten it by 10, and it all seems pointless, you know.
Still, the pressure is the same, and it's now on McRae. Sundström will be thinking back to his win in Scotland in this same Shell Oil's British Championship. Llewellyn's mind will turn, no doubt, to his success in the circuit. Mark Lovell, could he make it a victory for Ford? And here's McHale. Louise Aitken-Walker in the big Nissan, 10th overall, a brave lady. And another Scot, Andrew Wood. Kenny McKinstry subdued in the bigger car. And Robin Lyons from Castlederg, one of the Group A contenders in the Peugeot 205, rivaling the Vauxhall Astra GTE of Pentia Ricola. This is the end of stage 10 in the lush farmland of the Lagan Valley near Moira, and the road is slippery. Even a Ricola has difficulty staying between the hedges, keeping it on the island.
Right 5 minus. $150, right 3, 150, left 8. 300.
And we move on to stage 11 at dusk on Friday. After the 12th, they go back to Belfast to seek whatever sleep they can before their 4 o'clock start as dawn is breaking. The leaderboard at the break shows McRae in front, with David Llewellyn just a single second behind. Mark Lovell is third, Harry Toivonen fourth. Michael Sundström has hit trouble. He's now back in fifth, while Russell Brooks is sixth. Austin McHale's brave drive has taken him into 8th position. And at this stage, Pentia Ricola is leading Group A.
Into left 5 minus, long 50, long crest, left 2, and crest, right 2 minus, inside.
When we make notes for the night stages, even more accuracy is required. every crest, corner and road surface becomes more critical. Experienced crews can make up a lot of time on these night stages.
The 5 a.m. start on day 2 may not appeal to too many spectators, but it doesn't bother Jimmy McRae. His 1 second overnight lead is quickly stretched to 8 seconds. Circuit of Ireland winner David Llewellyn is throwing caution to the winds in his efforts to catch the Flying Scot. The second-placed Welshman's Metro is starting to oversteer badly on right-hand bends. Stephen Finlay has only had a driving licence for a year, and it's his first international rally, but already he's showing some veteran rallymen the way home. John Connor from Downings in Donegal has a slippery moment in the distinctive red Manta. And as the rally reaches the Omagh service halt, Mark Lovell limps in, having lost 5th gear. There's some muscle power needed for the very slick gearbox change which is coming up.
We can do it in about 9.5 minutes, but seven minutes gone now and we're about complete. The rear tyres are fitted and we're waiting to just check the oils and we're ready to go.
It's not bad going.
We've practiced it a lot.
But even the fastest service crew can't help John Lyons, whose Honda Civic had been going so well earlier.
We're leading Group A, our class in Group A, very comfortably, Gary, I'm glad to say. And we're just a few seconds behind Penty at one stage. Then this morning, first stage out, we had an electrical fault which dropped the 7.5 minute stage time. That was okay, we got it going again, but it stopped again that last stage. And we're now out of the rally, unfortunately, we're over our time. So it's a bit disappointing, okay.
There's an even bigger disappointment on the way for David Llewellyn. His efforts to catch McRae are about to end with a high-speed crash on stage 17. His rally is also over. With Llewellyn gone, the pressure eases on McRae, and he can afford to relax just a little. Mark Lovell represents his only real challenge for the lead, and his RS200 is breathing fire as the power goes down. Michael Sundstrom reckons he hasn't the horsepower to catch the leaders. At this point, he'll be happy to hold on to 3rd place. David Metcalf is giving it everything in his efforts to deny Penty Auricola the Group A honours and the British Championship.
For Jimmy McRae, it's now a question of pace. Mark Lovell in 2nd place can only hope for a change in McRae's fortunes. Michael Sundstrom would appear to be happy with 3rd. Austin McHale is now up to 7th place. Louise Aitken-Walker is still battling on in 8th, though she's 2 minutes behind McHale. Young Stephen Finlay has worked his way up into the top 10. But the excitement here is being provided by the Dungannon man Jody McGrath in his Ford Escort. Meath man Eddie Colton is well up, 2nd in his class, Group A in his Peugeot 205. Leo Shaw from Macrafelt in the Toyota Corolla is leading the Group N class ahead of Stanley Orr from Cumber in County Down, who's top of the British Championship. And on goes the Ulster Rally, with McRae here setting the pace. Russell Brooks, lying 5th, isn't being helped by his smoking engine. Penty Auricola has had further gearbox problems, so now David Metcalf is leading Group A, 7 minutes ahead of the Finn. so to Akadui's service. Agricola has dropped 7.5 minutes now, but the attention is on young Stephen Finlay in the Talbot Sunbeam. As he preferred not to speak to us, we heard from his co-driver, the experienced Desi Wilson.
This is Stephen's first international. In fact, he's only started doing national events this year. He's driving superb. He's very cool under the pressure, and he's really doing very, very well. And he has very, very mature head on the shoulders. He's really very remarkably good.
Well, where are you in the standings at the moment?
We're lying 9th at the moment. We're roughly about 2 minutes behind Sir Bolton, and we're roughly 3 minutes ahead of John Hockland, so we're just nice and comfortable, and I think that's probably the way we'll keep it.
In the beautiful summer sunshine, McRae goes storming on. While that man of steel McHale not only drives to the finish in 6th place, he's back in the hunt for the STP Tarmac Championship. And one last trip with Penty Agricola, this time over the twisting, tortuous back roads atop Torhead.
Into right 6, into left 2 over crest, into right 5 tightens, into left 7 long, into right 7 long, caution brake, suddenly left 8, into right 6, right 3, and crest left 1, into crest right 2, 50, jump left 3, into jump 1, into left 5 over crest, tightens.
And so Jimmy McRae drove back into Belfast, winner of the 1986 British Midland Ulster Rally. To the victor the spoils, the laurel wreath, and the inevitable bottle of bubbly.
It's a shame, actually, that an event such as this has been penalised because of problems in other countries. Because, I mean, the safety for spectators is, you know, the club have done a very good job, and they don't slow the cars down by putting slow bogey speeds in, because you've still got to go quick in case you have a problem in the stage. So it's unfortunate, but I'm quite sure they'll be able to get over it next year when they've got more time to think about it.